NETT Radio.
There is a new swing they call it mix. Just do your own thing and business fix. It gives a tingling and a tangling feeling, morning or evening. Something warm, something true, something wonderful and new. Grooving and kicking, moving and mixing shango with rock and roll. Calypso mixed with soul. It's a broad vibration, soulful action. Get it on and on. Playing, swaying, winding in 4/4 timing. Playing, swaying, winding in 4/4 timing. Doing the mix. Feel it. You must have something tender to touch. You must be drinking soda and scotch and moving even like a DC-7, soaring to heaven. Something fast, something class, something ready made from us. Grooving and kicking, moving and mixing shango with rock and roll. Calypso mixed with soul. It's a mad vibration, soulful action. Get it on and on. Playing, swaying, winding in 4/4 timing. Playing, swaying, winding in 4/4 timing.
Okay, everybody, good afternoon to you. And of course, welcome to it. Welcome to New Era TT Radio. Heartbeat of the Caribbean, we take you above and beyond. As we welcome you to the Drive Time Exchange. Monday and Tuesday, of course, we're here with Tony Fraser inside the Drive Time between 4 and 6 p.m. As we welcome you all to another edition, of course, we are marshaled by none other than Tony Fraser. So, Tony, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you, Chado. And it's a wonderful day in my part of the world today. Sunshine mixed with a little bit of showers and good temperatures. So all is well in the north. What way are we? Northeast of Port of Spain, in the St. Anne's Cascade area, and all is well by us here. What about you, Charles?
Yeah, it's pretty hot. I see we have like some warnings going on right now. Talking about the heat. So
Okay.
I hope as we go along it will get better.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
very hot these days.
yeah, it has been. On the occasion when I leave home and go out for some reason or the other, the heat um, shocks me. I couldn't believe it's so hot outside. But
Yes, it is. It's very, very hot these days.
all right, well, we are attempting to continue heating up the place this afternoon. Last week we started on the Soca trip. If you like, on a Soca boat, like Shadow has said, exploring in this Calypso History Month, the Soca, its initiation. We talked about Lord Shorty last week and Maestro. And I hear you started off with some Maestro also. And we want to continue the the movement of soca from the initial stage, which, as I indicated, Shorty and Maestro and other singers coming in to it and taking the soca to the national community in a significant kind of way. And so we're going to do that this afternoon. And once again, we are privileged to have with us Zeno Constance, a man who has researched the calypso. He's a playwright, he's a former lecturer in the subject at the University of the West Indies, and somebody who is constantly putting on plays and all kinds of things featuring the calypso. So, Zeno, thank you again for one being with us this afternoon and supplying the music that we are going to pursue over the next 1 hour, 50 minutes or so. And we only have Zeno and myself this afternoon by choice because we want to give you some more of the music that has come out over the period. So, Zeno, welcome to the program.
Well, for some reason, he just stepped back out here. Just
All
lost
right,
him. I don't know if it's the internet.
He'll probably come back soon enough. But Charlo, you have the music. Call out some of the artists that we're going to feature this afternoon for our listeners and viewers.
All right. Just give me one moment.
I know we have more of Shorty and Maestro, but some others are going to get played this afternoon.
Yeah, we have some Kitchener, some Chalkness, and Shadow is up inside the there also.
Okay, something of an event when Chogdas could join the Super Bowl, right?
Of course, of course.
So Zeno has returned, and Zeno,
Yeah,
welcome to the
I'm not
program.
sure still. I'm hearing you. I don't know if it's my phone, but even at full volume, I'm still coming across. I'm not too loud, but I could hear. So if you hear me, we could go one time.
Yeah, well,
All
we
right.
are hearing you.
All right,
Anything
yeah. So,
with regard to raising my volume, Charlo, so that he could hear me a little bit more?
yeah, a little bit to help because I am on full volume and struggling still to hear. But if you're hearing me, I could still keep the phone close to my ears and I could talk.
All right.
So I don't know what is the problem.
So you're on the phone and you're not on your computer.
No, I never use my computer. I can't find these things on my computer. I was on my phone since last week, all the other times before.
Okay.
Because
Right.
I get speaker, and this is the first time I'm getting this little problem. Anyway, you asked about how Chocolate's getting that. And remember I told you that this second phase, well, my second phase anyway, I used to call the Battle for Soca. Maybe subtitle, Who Soca Is It? And from very early, Chocolate was one of those who malign the Soca and said they don't make no sense. So what I have today is calypsos by people who put forward their concept of soca and those who say, but where is my viewpoint or my input and so on. No Shadow who claims soca from early, and others, and that kind of alignment. So that's how chocolate getting in the first place.
Right. I know Kitchener was at one point in time dead set against the soca. And so too Shadow. Shadow said he don't want to come and mash up that soca boat.
Well, listen, the thing about the Kitchener, a couple years ago, on his 100th birthday, I remember I did this production called The Road Make to Walk. And in launch, Valerie, now deceased Valerie, was making a point that Kitchener never liked the soca. And she said, even though Sugar Boom and Gimme the Thing and the Dr. Daughter and others were very successful economically, he still railed against it to the very end. He never accepted the soca for whatever reason. Although he put
He's
it,
never comfortable with it.
never was comfortable at all.
I suppose it is a kind of he being at the stage of his life, he coming into the calypso ring in the 1940s and so on, and getting accustomed to the calypso of that era and the beat and the melody and all of that. His style was set, his music patterns, steeped in the tradition of the time. And it's always difficult sometimes for us to make a movement forward. But inevitably, as you indicated, he did.
Yeah, but given the reason.
We're having some problems with you, Zeno.
Yeah, the internet seems to be falling in and out on his side. Yeah.
Yeah, and the
Um,
video is bouncing around all the time, and uncertainty behind it. Let's give him a chance to catch up with it. In the meantime, Charlo, since we're talking about Kitchener and his reluctant entry into the soca boat, if you have one of, I'm sure that you do, if you have one of his pieces there, maybe we could start off with that while Zeno sorts himself out.
Audrey, where you get that sugar, darling, there is nothing sweeter. You make me scream, you make me fall, you make me feel like 10 foot tall. Audrey, every time you wiggle, darling, you put me in trouble. You torture me the way you whine. I love to see your fat behind.
Okay, Kitchener's Audrey, Sugar Boom Boom, and some other names people like to call it. Yeah, yeah, Tony.
Yes, yes, Shallow, and it was one of the big songs, one of the first and big songs of Kitchener as he entered into the soca vein. And I understand that there is a story behind this one getting onto the album of the period of time. Zeno is back with us, and I am sure that you have something on that story. The
Yeah,
music
well, I
which I
don't know
then play,
how much you heard just now. And I was saying that Kitchener was in the studio with Ed Watson, and
right?
Ed offered him this melody. And name for the song, it was a three-syllable female name. I can't remember. Let's say Jennifer.
Okay.
Kitch said he didn't want it, but he would think about it. And when he went on the night, gather his thoughts, and because Kitch was always worried that he would be accused of ever singing a calypso written by somebody else. And he came up with Audrey, and it became a massive hit,
Right.
selling thousands and thousands and thousands of copies.
Mhm.
But Valerie, his wife, well, now deceased, had said that he never liked the soca, despite its success. So that was Kit's take. I mean, I don't think he ever mentioned it after. Whereas you could see a lot of other people, Stalin, Valentino, Chogdos, people who would Washi Soca with a kotai, Luta, Posa, Chocolate. A lot of Calypso, I never accepted it when it began.
I suppose, you know, that is, you're talking about Calypsonians who were bred and lived their lives in another genre. And we've made a point that with the musicians that when we're talking about the soca and the calypso, we're not talking about two genres that are a million miles apart, really. One is a derivative of the other as the music advances, progresses over a period of time.
Yeah, but you see, but in the beginning, there was not much difference except the up-tempo thing. And, you know, it was surprising. And it wasn't surprising that Chog does, steeped in what his style of things, you know, would go that way. In fact, in other calypsos, Calypso, Cricket, Quacks and Invalids, and Calypso in Hospital, he still reiterated the idea of soca. But interestingly, Mudada took it one time. Melody went into that soca like a duck in water. And he had some very big soca hits, and he had predated most of the Calypsonians.
Of the time.
Yeah, and Black Stallion and Your Axe Fate jumping with a kind of twist. Well, your Axe Fate, they come and ask him about the soca. So, all right, well, since you Axe Fate, I go give you a little thing. Beep, beep. And he has one called Kaiser Music that extends on that.
Right. Sorry, Zeno, before you go on, we haven't heard Melody. No, go on. We haven't heard Melody in some time. So, Chalo, if you have a melody there, line it up.
Okay.
Zeno, in the meantime, go ahead with the point you're making.
Yeah, I want to talk about when I call it the Battle for Soca. Now, maybe I could start here. I was talking to Kinte a few years ago, just before lockdown. We were on top of High Street. Timmy going to the travel service, he leaving the country for a show. And we talked about 15 minutes. And the last thing Kinte said to me was, figure out how come there was no argument about soca before the 31st of August, 1977. And I couldn't figure out what he meant. And it took me a whole day. Then I realized, well, Maestro had died. And now Shorty could say, the soca is mine alone.
Okay.
And, you know, that is where that is development where the argument stood. So that in 78, I think it's Shorty was right. What do you call it? Who God bless.
Right.
You know?
Right. But also, Zeno, I think you can give our listeners and viewers a sense of who Kinte is. But I was going to say was.
Yeah, important, you know. I mean, I once mentioned Kinte and somebody was doubting Thomas. The Kinte was actually the go-between Shorty in Manahamri and Maestro in Princestown. And Kinte would say, for example, that Shorty would ask me, say, Carrie, go up the road by Cecil Hume until I want 2 more Calypso to finish my album. And when he read by Maestro would say, what am the Shorty at all? He have all them Calypso already. He bought for mine now. I gave him these 2. Right? And therefore, Kinte will tell you what is happening between them, and you know the whole thing. And Kinte is a firm believer that it's unfair to let the record say that Shorty alone was going in that direction. And in fact, Maestro was also. And the only difference is that Shorty was looking for a song, change the accent of Carnival to a groovy back and a up-tempo the Carnival. Maestro was looking for a song to play all season, which is why he did this Anatomy of Soca and so on. So that was Kinte playing between and have plenty information, you know.
Right.
What they were both saying.
Zeno, we must invite Kinte to the program next week.
Yeah, he would be glad to do that. Right?
All right, good.
So I'm saying, after Shorty made that first attempt in 78 to claim it, you know, they claimed it as their own thing and so on. Although he came to Faizabat Secondary in 1991, just a little while after he had gone to Shorty and thing. And in the lecture to the students, he did give Maestro pips of the sea as for the development, the innovation of soca. But later on, you would hear Shorty saying that, you know, I invented. I think he was doing, you know, damage control to make sure this music that I puts too much into people want to say is their own. And if you get to when we get to the shadow says, but I don't want to sing this soca boat. A man come in my house to beat me. He come in my house to eat me. He say he is the soca king. I can make with the soca thing. And I feel call him asked before that he was we can have a reference to Shorty. Remember? Shadow always felt it was his input very early in 71, the threat was 72, probably 72. He does say, listen to the bass, is music in the place. That could be bacchanal for the carnival. That same bass that I forget, Wellington has spoken about when he did new Calypso music. So Shadow in his mind was making it, and the most profound counter-attack Shadow had made is in that Calypso, which I can't remember the name, but very lately, I mean, down in the 2000 and something, what he said, I come down from up in Laventille and I bring my music, and they take my music and they call it soca and deprive me of what is mine. I mean, that is the most, I mean, but he did think, what is wrong with me, and pirates and so on, saying, but how they could do as if the soca is mine. Now, I'm not going to say it is you either, because I feel there's a whole movement take that and people are making input. But that's why I say the battle for soca, and you'll see different kind of battle. The anti-soca thing by Choglas, the claim by Shadow, the disclaimer by Valentino, which I don't have here, but Valentino has one called Soca Nightmare. And find that, this thing took over the music and it gone left. Even after he sang Mad and a Soca Fat, by the way. It's always interesting how Calypso could say one thing and sing the next thing. But it's something in the back of their mind, when it's going on.
It seems as if they are close relatives to politicians. Saying one thing to the other. All right, so Charles, let's go with. I think we talked about Melody. Melody coming from abroad, joining up in the soca thing.
Rastaman, what is your plan? Hate rich, love of good, red man, you terrible. Rastaman, declare your policy. Society, no complaint, we must know where we stand.
Rastaman, 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 be careful.
I man is my name, and dishonesty is the game.
Rastaman, 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 be careful.
I was born to Rome, and my Babylon is my home.
Rastaman, 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 be careful.
People say I dread me, not what behave on my head.
Rastaman, 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 be careful.
Shooting me is a waste, and the Rasta don't take me place.
Rastaman, 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 be careful.
Rastaman, open your eyes. Your children and your wife is deserving a better life. People say they're blaming you for things you ain't do. But you win talk, you win smile, you militant, you running wild.
Rastaman, 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 be careful.
I man is my name and honesty is the game.
Rastaman, 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 be careful.
I was born to Rome and my Babylon is my home.
Rastaman, 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 be careful.
People say I dread, but me not have to behave on their head.
Rastaman, 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 be careful.
Shooting me is a waste, and then the Rasta don't take me place.
Rastaman, 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 be careful.
Okay, that's Melody.
Yeah, Melody coming from the US, where he had been based for a number of years, working with Belafonte, and I presume doing his own acts. Coming back home and doing the soca, joining the soca boat, as it were. Zeno is as if I am hearing Melody talking to an individual, but yet talking to a broader spectrum of the Rasta population. Am I dreaming something there?
No, I don't know. The 70s was the time of the Rastafarian in the Calypso. The society had now become aware of them. And we have this large number of Calypsos. I did an entire paper on that once, yes, called Them With Dread. And people were making input. There's this Calypso by Melody is kind of anti-Rasta. Strange enough. Well, not well. And then there's one by Funny called Imitation Rasta. And a lot of Calypsos were, just examining and wondering, ask back, have an interesting one. And then by the time we get to 70s, end of 77, Valentino dropped his locks, as they say, the Rasta. And later on, Stalin, and although Stalin would claim that he was Rasta, and he had from since before that, I suppose so. Yeah. So it was the Rasta. I'm not sure who Melody is talking about.
Okay.
But
did he have a son who had gone Rasta, or he sang about a mystical son?
I don't know. I know Melody's son because we are friends on Facebook and we speak every now and then. But I don't know that Melody had a Rasta son as such.
Okay, all right. So he was just singing in general. At one point in time, as if I felt as if he was throwing words for some Rastaman, significant Rastaman outside there. But maybe my imagination working over time. I don't know.
Yeah, this song should have come, I think, maybe in the early 80s. But the point is, Melody switched successfully and seamlessly, into the soca thing. He had about 4, 5, 6 like these, Calypso like these. And they're so comfortable. I mean, and to me, with my entree there, and a pretty pelame here to give me the musical air, you could hear the Maestro kind of influence. Maestro soca as opposed to the Shorty brand very comfortable.
Yeah, so that Melody came from abroad. I don't know if he was going back and forth, but he came from abroad after his stint with Belafonte, or maybe during his stint with Belafonte, and he left a number of those pieces, as you indicated, 6, 7, 8 pieces of soca. He joined the soca boat, as it were. All right, so who else you have on the list of the new entrants, as it was, into the soca thing?
Well, we could either go by Stalin or Shadow. I mean, we don't mention Chalk Dust, and I was talking about Chalk Dust input, but we go by either of them. They have their own viewpoint on this thing. And then, of course, there's Merchant. So I think my Merchant would have reached them at the end of the 70s. Merchant, Shadow, and so on. Before we switch, definitely Mudara. Although Kinte tells me, back to Kinte again, that a couple of those Mudara soca, For Whatever, and the other one were actually written by Maestro. But I think they were the first people to jump on board. I mean, Mudara and Merchant, and then Super. By the time they get to 80, Super was there.
Right. Right.
So the access of Maestro and Shorty, which began it in the mid-70s, 75, coming down the road, the 66, 77. By the time we get to 78, you gotta feel other people putting the foot in the water and say,
right.
We could take a chance. We could take a
Take
chance.
a taste of the thing. All right. So before I forget, Zeno, I give you a special responsibility to extend and invite Kinte for next.
All right,
Monday.
I'll do that.
Right. So let him come along and so on, and you could even share the password with him so that he can get into this thing. So Charlo, what do you have lined up there for Shadow?
Right. So we're getting ready to have Stalin.
Okay.
Blackman music.
All right.
And
everybody coming, and it's for either they asking about soca. Whether night or day, they want to hear what I got to say about soca. I'm in a revolution where I'm searching for an anthem that would add some vibration to the black man revolution. Whether the thing is mambo, a cemento or a calypso, and you know I'm feeling the feeling. I'm ready to go soca, rumba, reggae, merengue, kaiso, mambo. So ask me about, cause I dig in. They see all kind of things about how they wouldn't sing no soca. But now that soca playing, it's the same people who singing all this soca. But when your ancestral vibration call you out to action, you gotta run something for the black man revolution. You could feel it an English guy and dress up in jacket and tie. And just say go forward or you die. Soca, rumba, reggae, merengue, kaiso, mambo. So I dig in, but my thing is.
Stalin there with black man music and a nice combination of merengue and everything in between there.
Yeah. Zeno, the merengue is very, very evident in the music there.
Yeah, I think Salim was saying, as he said in a couplet there, black music is going through one revolution and we are fighting no revolution inside the revolution. So I ain't gonna say if soca is better than calypso or vice versa. All I got is this black man music, merengue, and he used that touch of merengue, rumba, samba, all this music, you know, and that's an important recognition. We tend to feel that the things that come out of the French and Spanish Caribbean, for example, that music that come out of South America, you know, Brazil and so on, is some kind of Spanish music, but it's heavily influenced by African music for obvious reason. You know, African people came. And they had to sing, and so wherever they mix up, they bounce up another language. They might be singing in that language, but they sing it with the antecedent of this is where I come from. This is my feel, everything, you know. So Stalin, sorry, I want to say Stalin went on. You know, he did. You asked straight after he did Kaiso music, a little known one, and then of course, Black Man Feeling the Party. Going to venture with that. He had no fear of saying, I would never sing that. As Kitchen had said on the interview on TV, I would never sing soca. And that was a year before Sugar Boom. Stalin was bright enough to escape that kind of thing. And then the fellas sing when they want to sing, we go here. And then a couple of years later, he jump in.
And of course, we heard a lot of Latin music, Latin-derived music, as it were, in Trinidad and Tobago from the big bands, the combos, and so on of the era, because we're talking about countries and people right next door to us, sometimes even closer than the English-speaking Caribbean islands.
Yeah, because, I mean, the influence is there. And David Rolla once said, anything we put in his mouth and chew up, when he spit it out, is now our own. Obviously, the Calypso, in its history, has been influenced by all musics. Anyway, you get a little whoop, whoop. We just swing and how we get swing and come again. Because we always wanted to we wanted to make the Calypso music a popular music out of the early 6 weeks before Carnival. So every music that passed, funk, dub, rock, disco, everything. Soul. You just pull it apart and say this piece of your own. So you hear it all the time. You hear people, that big band, as they say, that was playing the music then.
The reality here, Zeno, is that we are an eclectic people. We have pulled strands from everywhere in the world, from Europe, India, Asia, everywhere. Latin America, obviously close by. I remember very clearly music in the 60s. Perez Prado and all of the Latin music that came through that stream.
I was telling somebody the other day that some of our biggest songs Roman Coca-Cola came out of that Martinican folk song, Leanne's Passé. And then there's, as I mentioned, Perez Prado, that popular hit that Joey Lewis made popular. Shucks, man, it just opened my head. Came off of a Haitian folk song. Peanut Vendor. That's it.
Yes. Peanut Vendor wasn't that Sel Duncan, Peanut Vendor?
Well, I know Joey Lewis has the peanut. Is Peanut Vendor?
Joey Lewis has a version of it also.
Okay.
Yeah. But Perez Prado had done it. I made it big in America in the 1950s, I think. When I did some research, I realized the melody comes from a Haitian folk song.
Right.
So, and the influence is always, that's why you hear Terra singing Little Monkey and Radio singing, these folk songs put in Calypso. Everywhere, anything we touch, we imbibe and change the Calypso slightly. I mean, the Soca is the biggest change because we gave it a name, Without a name, we'd still be singing Calypso with a different beat. That's how you mentioned a merengue in this one. It will be called Calypso. That's another argument we have to argue sometime. And Luther was the one who put forward that thesis. We should have never changed the name. We just have fast Calypso, slow Calypso, nice Calypso, Calypso.
All is Calypso.
Yeah, the Spanish beat. But we like to name things. Parang Soca and Soca Parang, Chutney Soca and Soca Chutney, all kind of different things. Anyway.
As you talk about Chutney Soca, next week we're also going to have an expose of the Chutney Soca, how it broke into the music. Naturally part of it and so on, but that's
I'm going to send you over 100 Calypsos. I might choose a few at the end, but we have so much of those that are already on my thing. So I'll send it tonight. So Charles can have fun trying to go through all those 100 how much Calypsos based on East Indian influence and kind of thing. And you could hear it. But that's for next week. So let me jump the gun.
All right. Okay, so Charlo, give us something else now.
Chocolate. I still getting one.
All right.
When Shorty took Calypso up to the altar and gave her in marriage to Mr. Soca. All the rest in the church like the transplanter. Wish Calypso and Soca long life together. But shortly after the honeymoon over, we paid them riot on the wedding paper. Soca start to hook up with all kind of women and abusing Calypso in the end. Calypso getting horny, Calypso getting horny. Soca Christmas parang, Christmas fundraising song, while Calypso working, Soca womanizing. Calypso getting horny, Calypso getting horny. Well, it was sex slam bang, Soca and Miss Parang, condoms he used none, and young Soca Parang was born. Calypso getting horny, Calypso getting horny. Yeah, wedding guests like Rio and Lord me later. along with Lord Shorty, the giver. They vex with Soca's incest and his rickeys, cause they born with disease and deformities. For Soca's outside children lack intelligence. They just dribble and repeat pure nonsense. They just speak fast and walk fast like fast food chicken, and every dress they see, they trapping. I so getting on, I so getting on. Soca when Caroni and slept with Miss Chutney. They both made a picnic, called the Soca Chutney. I so getting on, I so getting on. His own Chutney baby, he had incest with she went with Papa, and they Chutney Soca after. I so getting on.
Yeah, very interesting story going on in between there, guys.
Mhm. I would say that Chalky in this instance made himself one of the honor men. Yes, you know. Go ahead. Yeah.
I said Chalky never relented, like I mentioned, Kaiso in hospital, Kaiso getting horn, Claxon in village, Calypso cricket, and the original Calypso versus Soca. Shogdos had no use for what this music they call Soca, as far as he was concerned. As far as he's concerned, you couldn't put 8-line verse and 8-line chorus into a soca-ish kind of beat. It still would not be Calypso. But, as you see,
But
each his own.
in the song, he talked about the marriage between the soca and the calypso and the chutney. Which one was there first? Where the soca is concerned, did chutney come out of the soca, or chutney came before the soca?
Well, now we're talking about soca as the music. As I explained to somebody the other night, soca is concept, soca is word, and soca is music. Now, soca music we know is mid-70s, but predating that, we had the chutney, first called, if I'm not wrong, Kinte, the music of the Matiku night, right? And you could hear it sometimes still, if you check it out, you'll hear that music. And from that would come various singers, of whom Sunda would become the greatest. Not that Sunda was the first person to take that Matiku night music that the woman would sing for the young bride, and and make it into something which they would have one secular maybe. So that was there since before, and by the 60s, what the man named Barry Wahhabi Orchestra and so on, they were playing that, Kaise, Bani and Nani and Nana definitely predates mid-70s. Some of them were there even before. So that Kinte chutney was there before, but as chutney. And of course it moved from the language, the Hindustani Hindi language, into the English with that limerick style verse, A, rhyming A, B, B, back to A. Right? I tell Lal Bihari, I go in Sandy Gandhi. I tell Lal Bihari, I go in Sandy Gandhi. And then they come back, so and so and so and so, and go back. Which of course is the typical chutney thing. And then of course, by the time we get to the mid 80s, it went full thing, because Chupati pull one called Chutney Soca. I think it is written by Castman. I don't want to come here on a block for that. And Chutney Soca became a term in the 80s, I think around 87, just before she did Mr. Bisesa. And by that time, of course, we had soca, but chutney itself, and I think what we would refer to that as Indian Calypso, because people would do it for a long while, and not only Shorty and Indian singers in the 60s.
Shorty had one in the 60s, didn't he?
Indian singers. In fact, Shorty had one, which I don't know. And the reference, it's called Something Mango from 1958, when he was still singing Indian music and pop music before he branched into Calypso. Okay. But Killer was singing Grinding Masala, and Dictator was singing Munia, and Executor was singing My Indian Girl. And you're hearing the rhythms of India, of course, because the Calypsonians are in the urban part of the country, but they're hearing the rhythms coming out of the rural and semi-urban part. As they went, trying to get us to Sawan Barataria, some Indians reached there. So of course they would hear it and they would pick it up. And sometimes they do it to mock, not necessarily to promote, to mock. Every time I pass in by a guy named Masala,
So this is the introduction to next week's program. So we're going to talk much more about that.
Oh yeah, I should not jump in there.
That's okay. Chalo, let's go to somebody that I like his version of the soca, the merchant. To me, he brought a different kind of feel and sound in the soca, which became very popular in the period. So something from Merchant.
All right, just give me 1 minute.
All right. Yes,
Yeah.
Zeno.
Yeah, well, Merchant
wrote something.
My Merchant, Merchant got his name because he was a seller of calypsos. When he hang around the tent and thing and had to sing selling calypso, they say, but he was a merchant. But very early, he was able to get, even he had thing like Dr. Soca, you're hearing a music inside it that was Merchant.
He had something wonderful, man. Wonderful.
Umbayayo, he was hearing Merchant Soca. I could hear the influence of Maestro, a little bit of Shorty maybe, right? But you were hearing he was picking up something that could call his own, his style, inside of that. Definitely strong Merchant.
All right, well, let's go with the Merchant.
All right.
Getting a funny feeling, it making me shiver. I didn't want to bother, but I went and see Dr. Soca. He examined me properly, sung me good, then said to me, you don't want a physician. Young man, what you want is a musician. You have soca in your face. You have soca in your waist. You have soca in your elbow. You have soca in your big toe. Who tell me so? Is he will tell me so? La la la. Oh oh la 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 la. Oh oh la 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 la. I say, Doc, since last carnival, I getting this feeling, and like it ain't going. It's stronger and stronger it getting. He say, well, check Dr. Pelham Goddard or Dr. Edwardson. Both of them have license. They go tell you if something happen, but I know it's soca in your spine. Soca on your mind. You have soca in your kidney. You have soca in your belly. Who tell me so? Is he will tell me so? Oh la la. Oh la 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 la. Oh.
Yeah, that's the Merchant for you, Tony. I hope you enjoyed that one.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Merchant had a wonderful kind of musicality. A kind of real music to his soca. He pushed back on the speed and he brought in a lovely melody. Who's Dr. Soca? Zeno.
Yeah, there's an important line there, when he talks about Pelham Goddard and Edwardson.
Yeah.
And later, of course, Leston Paul. And I think I tell you why that's important. The input of the musical arrangers, we tend to throw away when we're talking about its soca and its development and soca and its its foundation and so on. We tend to forget how important that for us was, because if the story is true that Maestro had gone to Adikoto since 1975 and tell him, I want this song arranged this way, what would have become Maestro's style of soca? I'd say no, right? And it's only later on you get, I think, as Pelham to do that album. So I think that's very important. And I know the claim for soca, I could talk about that now, but let me talk about that one time. The claim for soca is fire, I mean, Robin Mamsha, who had many incarnations in Last Supper and with the other one name, his bands, right? He had claimed the soca. And of course, Nelson, I think we forget. Now, let me talk about Nelson for a little while. I forget we could have played and Nelson's maybe thing like Disco Daddy. But Nelson said that when he came from America, Tobago born, but he went and joined the American Army. And as across there, he started singing Calypso. He used to sing Sparrow Calypsos, doing remake and so on. And the talk is that when he come home sometimes, the Calypsonians here would tell him he's singing soul Calypso, meaning he's singing Calypso with that touch of American music, with the affectation of how he would speak, right? If you listen to Nelson today, you'll hear that slight American affectation. And he says one day he will come back home and hear people talking about soca, soul Calypso. He said, but it's mine. And he had always claimed that thing like Garrett Bongs, right, which was done earlier, 60s kind of thing, is where soca began. But I'm not going to argue that at all. But I just want to show the set of people, as I call this, the battle for soca, people who say it's them. So we can't forget Nelson, and we can't forget Imam Shah.
Robin Imam Shah.
Yeah, and Deputy Shadow, his claim, and all these people who, and I mean, I think the claim has a lot to do with the feeling must have a person rather than a movement. But I was on WAC radio one night, and I was making that point about something, and somebody calling and talk about the input of the arrangers and claiming that they are the ones who start the whole thing. Now, last week, Pelham said a very interesting thing, and it didn't pass me. Pelham said they were Ramajane, and he called one name, I think Toby, and others who were Ramajane with this soul music and this funk music and so on. And Shorty came to the studio and heard them, and that Ramajane predated Endless Vibrations. So I was just saying in my mind, really, boy, that's an interesting thing, and it's a typical Calypso thing where people, Roulette talks about people thieving other people Calypso from early. Let me end this point before we go to the next song on this thing here. When I was doing my Calypso lectures on campus, somewhere around 2014, I think, Rada was in the Dagger Hall, just on the campus too, doing a lecture. So I told my class, half of the class, we're going to pack up the class and we're going to go and listen to Rada. That could be part of the class. When they feel the go, but that's an important thing. And Rada said in that I think he said it was Marvin and Nigel and Marvin who were in the studio, and they were singing. $5, $10. In our corner, that's Colin. And he say, Colin see him, hear them sing it, and he opened his eye big. And Rada didn't say anything after it, and all of the audience had to laugh. And that is nothing surprising, because I know of many calypsos where the original author claims it and say, I just sing the calypso on a bus, I sing a verse, I sing a line, look at the man, and the man got the music. So the importance, I want to stress that importance of how the arrangers, and it might well be, and there's nothing wrong with that. People hear music, and sometimes unconsciously. I remember the judge in America in the George Harrison plagiarism case with the chiffons. He said, a thing called unconscious plagiarism. You hear it, you forget you hear it, and then it comes out. So I don't want to, I say it's fair, as Pelham says last week, and as people say generally, the arrangers are underrated in what shape soca take.
We did a piece a few 2 months or so ago with Valentino, And Valentino said a very interesting thing about Conqueror's big hit of the woman thing.
Woman and money.
Woman can't spend any money and all kind of thing. And Valentino's claim is that that was his Calypso. And
All right, but
somehow,
Tony said to bring it up. Let me get the story behind that quickly.
all right.
Valentino wrote that in 1962, I think, and he sang it once at a fireman or postman concert at SW on Rising Road, SSW, whatever I forget, WT, what is now Cafe Blue, Platte Blue area, I think.
Yeah, SW.
And of course, having done sang it, he and Conqueror would put some bodies. They would sing together, compose, live, and so on. And of course, Conqueror hear it, and Conqueror take it up from there. Now, somewhere in the 70s, late of the 70s, Valentino, composer, Brian Honoré, the commenter, they were doing some shows in Grenada, and they were on a bus. And commenter says he pick up the guitar and sing a two-line and say, Valentino, you're doing me wrong. You wouldn't say you write the Woman and Money song. And Valentino never answered him. He just picked the guitar up and sang the whole song. It was not until Conqueror started saying, and that was in this century, that this is a piece of Valentino and a piece of me. The Valley on a show in Port of Spain at Central Bank, Tuco says that this is my Calypso. And he sang it then. I think it's not to do with the code, the code of, it doesn't say write a Calypso for a man, because again, even though in this case, Conqueror took it friendly, because, I mean, they were bodies.
Yeah. What he said is that while he sang it, what he told me, that's Valentino, is that while he sang it, he never recorded it. And Conqueror took it and recorded it, and said it was Conqueror's song. He also said that his first Calypso name was Robin.
Yeah.
And then another Robin came and took Robin. And so Kitchener had to give him a name, and that was Valentino.
I had written the entire biography on Valentino, so I know the story inside out. And that is Calypso's, that is in Calypso law, LORE, because Pretender would tell you NETT is his own, and explain why, even though Honor also claimed NETT. But of course, the rumor then was that, some Calypso would just easy bandits of the head, they go with it. There's I'm going to call him my name now, an extempo fella who they say, Blakey said, he said, don't even think your Calypso wrong, that man. He could teach it out your head. And which brother Alpha say he learned to his disappointment. He was on a bus singing, Captain, the ship is... All right. I have no courts closed.
I suppose in a small environment with all of these people interacting with each other all of the time, I have heard Superior and Brigo talk about living with Spoiler. And Spoiler influencing them and teaching them about Calypso. All that interaction must rub off on each other at some point in time.
But
all right.
So Tony should listen to Early Funny, Early Shadow. Shadow that predates the threat.
Right.
Predates something. Don't think like Horoscope Woman and Soulfish and so on. You are hearing Spoiler. Early Funny is full of spoiler. Spoiler was so popular.
Yeah.
Anyway,
of course, Bomber tried a thing.
Yes,
at least he was a little bit upfront with it.
And Bomber, early Bomber too. Early Bomber has that spoiler influence. Even though Bomber was singing Calypso in Grenada before he reached here, but Spoiler, remember how big Spoiler was? Pretender says a Spoiler who introduced movement, hand movement, face movement as presentation in the Calypso.
Okay.
Long before people think it came in. That's another story. A pet peeve I have about it. But passive presentation.
I never saw Spoiler in the flesh,
No, I didn't. Bill Trotman had said that if you see, Bill had said if you see me, you see Spoiler. He tall like me and the same color skin and so on. I could only take his word for it.
Although Spoiler got me in trouble in primary school. primary school teachers say what you want to be in the next life. And I say bedbug. Of course, I had no real understanding. I must have been, 8, 9 or so. I had no real understanding of the bedbug and the meaning. But
Exactly.
she thought I did, and she cut my tail for it, but that's another story. Chalo, let's get some. Okay, sorry, we take a break now. And Zeno, when you, in the meantime, try to organize you're a little bit too close to the camera.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, you see right
Yeah.
like that? Wonderful.
Maybe
Because I
somebody was
was
hearing
struggling to
well.
hear a little bit, but
Yeah.
all right.
Okay, Chalo, go ahead.
All right, so we'll be back shortly, people.
Soca lightis is what you have running through your body. The X-ray show clearly, and for that there is no remedy. You will find your vocal cords getting sweeter and sweeter. Your voice will sound better. That is the sign of
Your mid-morning just got better. Join Sir Charles for the mid-morning mix and mingle, where good music, real talk, health, and family matters come together, and your voice is heard. Whether you're at work, on the go, or just taking a break, this is the perfect mix to keep you engaged, informed, and entertained. The mid-morning mix and mingle, weekdays, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
S&H Rumba, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumba, drinking out of the box.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
Full discussions, the hottest topics, and some tracks to keep you moving. The Drive Time Exchange on NETT Radio, taking you above and beyond.
Listening to my radio in Pifaro and wondering what I fell and singing for Calypso. Foolishness, that is all that they're giving we. Foolishness, only vice and vulgarity. I talk to them, they wouldn't get a break sticking there. It's only you that's dying, sure that they care. As the father of soca, I don't want them end up in jail, so I bring me roll a connection for the day. Preacher, yes, pa, come here, you singing Shahiba.
Awesome Shahiba, you singing preacher.
Ajala,
Yes, pa,
come here, you singing Excreta.
incredible Excreta, you singing Ajala.
I want you to move a step further, you're still singing Tata, or you said a Latin singer, messing up the soca.
Move over,
For the elder statement of soca, I come out to jam,
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 jam.
jam on Lucifer, afraid to be father for power. To set things in order, he tell me go jam,
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 jam.
jam on Lucifer, in the spirit and power of Elijah, with brimstone and fire, he tell me go jam,
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 jam.
jam on Lucifer, for all you that
Singing,
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 singing. The nation in trouble, and you, the mouthpiece, are the people irresponsible. All your own singing, singing. I said I don't this. I have to come out and retirement and sing because all you're making a mess of me thing. All your own singing, singing. I said I don't this. So much thing happen in the northern songs, and there's only way for you singing, but all your own singing, singing. I said I don't this. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. every day I hear in the same complaint. People say, soca music going down the drain. Yeah, they say the music crude and not spiritual, but you, the topic's lewd, nonsensical without no value. Yeah, it's the worst time in our history for soca and TNT. Them Bajan fellas getting more airplay than we. But it's all your fellas to blame. If it was me, I would have feel shame to sing jump, 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 jump again and again. Preacher, come here, all you singing Shahiba.
Awesome Shahiba, you singing preacher.
Tell her, what? Come here, you singing excreta.
Incredible excreta, you singing Atala.
I want you request for that singing extraordinary. Tata, all you said a laughing singer, messing up me soca. Move over for your father, he invented soca. I come out to jam no Lucifer. All you so greedy for money, preaching immorality. So I come to jam no Lucifer. Lord, forgive them, I'm begging. They don't know what they're doing. So I come to jam no Lucifer. Cause they only singing. I said I don't this shit. On the plastic fan, talk to Baka like Abu has something on the cover. And they only singing. He ran 3 million for election. Now his minister of finance quite the tongue and they only singing. I said I don't this shit. A man raped my girl, urinated him out. He just gave him 6 years and sent him out. And still all you singing. I said I don't this shit.
All right, people. So we are back. We are inside the second hour of the Drive Time Exchange here on New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio. Remember, people, you can get us all day, every day. NewEraTTRadio.com. New Era TT Radio on TuneIn. So you get us on your Alexa and Google devices. And remember, you can advertise right here with us on the net. Tony, so we are back on the inside with you and Zeno Constance.
Yep. And what we can say from that Shorty piece there is that he moved the focus from the musicality of the soca to the lyrical, as he says, tata, as that was being sung in the name of soca. The Calypsonians, as he was pointing out, they gravitated to the beat and the music, but the content of their lyrics didn't move forward. Zeno? Yeah, I think we have we don't have on your microphone.
Yeah, go ahead, Zeno.
Yeah, sorry about that. Shorty's trying to sanitize the soca. Shorty forget where the soca was, but he was singing it all the risky things he sing using that same soca, same melody. So he come up with this latrine singers, and you see in latrine singers, he hit everybody he could have find to hit to clear the way and say, only what are you singing? My kind of, well, but then he was the Christian ethos.
Yes,
I think
right.
Iowa, of course, replied it, think about it, and then Sparrow would sing both of them, and Shorty would then sing the second one. I think enough is enough.
Yeah.
And so I would respond with the more the merrier, and tell Shorty, you forget, not that you're holy, you forget when you was hoary. And then Shorty would do one call, the third one, you ain't thinking. And finally he would do sing anything. Tell them sing anything. And he would refer into the bush and sing jamu, combination of jam music. So Shorty was angry enough because he felt that soca should be used for uplifting topics, but he had also used it for politics, for sexual things. I mean, anything.
In fact, he introduced the soca with endless vibration.
Yeah,
that was pure party.
Exactly, he was a party, but he had done all kind of things. I mean, that brilliant thing he had sung, the political one, Money and No Problem. So sweet, so political, but there's so much others he was singing in the meantime. And then exists some nice ones, you know, Soca Man's Grunting, Plan de Land. And then, and of course, he would have done the great one, Shanti, Shanti.
Yeah,
But he couldn't get away from that reality. So he went with 4 straight years, 4 calypsos at the end of the 90s before he died, saying
course,
this is what soca was supposed to be about, uplifting topics.
One of his
and he gets some good problems. Sorry.
One of his big ones was the children song, the Coke song.
Yeah, Watch Out My Children.
Watch Out My Children.
Yeah, you know, he did really powerful. Well, let's quote it, uplifting topics, quote unquote. But soca could be used for all kind of thing. Like I say, it's a melodic beat. It didn't stop people from singing calypso with that melodic beat. And like I said the other night, it's the competition that forces that way. Because of a competition, verse and chorus, and you must sing it this and must have a storyline and all kind of thing. You know, that was Pretender's input into that soca thing. Pretender was saying, I didn't mind the singing the soca, but have a story now, have a story. Well, the soca has a story, right? So as you go along, you know, people put different things into it.
Yeah, I heard an interesting thing from David Rudder. He said after the early years and so on, he met Pretender somewhere. And then Pretender came up to him and said, "Boy, David, when you must start singing calypso, boy?" the kind of one Pretender was. Yeah.
I think a while too. Sometimes it's just the mention, you know. Between 1975 and say 1995, I have found 200 plus calypsos with the word soca in the title. And I say the title because that's how I search it. And if I could find 200, I would assume, based on my knowledge of my collection, it probably have 250. And that's the title, not in its essence. So a lot of calypsos were called soca this and soca that. And maybe Rudder put it best in calypso music. He says calypso music is a sweet soca music. There was no differentiation then, you know. It came later on. It came with, you know, Poser singing, you know, Find a Name. And that was late. That was in the Bungie era. But that first 75, 85, 95, all them Tambu songs and David Rudder songs and Super Blue, and you know, they were just calypso with what we call soca because it had moved away from the that kind of thing. That 2/4. And not even unfair, because even then there were calypsos done at a pace, up tempo pace, long before we did soca. Even in the soca era, people were doing that. Not everything was slow and methodical.
All right, Charlo, let's see. We have talked about him, but we haven't played his music just yet. I think we need to bring the man from Tobago, Shadow and his soca into the reckoning.
Okay, no problem.
Stop the soca boat for me. I want to jump off. Stop the soca boat, I say it. I want to jump off. Too many raps, too many flags, too many fools, too many rules. Every year is wave and wave and wave and wave and wave. Fed up with the wave and wave and wave and wave and wave. Stop the boat, stop the boat, stop the boat. I want to jump off. Stop the boat, stop the boat, stop the boat. I want to jump off. Time to put them rats in some garbage bags. Time to put them flags in some garbage bags. When I come to dance with me woman, just give me a break, Mr. Black Man. Stop the boat, stop the boat, stop the boat. I want to jump off. stop the boat, stop the boat, stop the boat. I want to jump off, I want to ride, I want to ride, I want to ride to a new dimension. I want to ride, I want to ride, I want to ride in the next direction. Stop the boat, stop the boat, stop the boat. I want to jump off. Stop the boat, stop the boat, stop the boat. I want to jump off. You don't buy that deed. Soca boat is confusion. I want to jump up. Plenty people jumping on. I want to jump up. Who can't sing at all? Practicing the ball. Who can't write a line? Learn to wave and whine. And every day wave and wave and wave and wave and wave. Tired with the wave and wave and wave and wave and wave. Stop the boat. Stop the boat. Stop the boat. I want to jump up. Stop the boat. Stop the boat. Stop the boat. I want to jump up. Hey, Californian, challenge my reputation. He said he is the Soca king. I can't make with the Soca king. I call the mental hospital. Come quick to avoid a funeral. A man came in my house to beat me. He came in my house to bite me. I belong to the house of music. He's either crazy or real sick. But I don't want to sing that soca boat. I don't want to sing that soca boat. Just don't want to sing that soca boat. I don't want to sing that soca boat. That was confusion. I was transformed to a demon. I got mad on my eyes and red. Only wickedness in my head. My blood until it violent. I begged our feeling to fight him. He came in my house to beat me. He came in my house to fight me. I belong to the house of music. He's either crazy or real sick. But I don't want to sing that soca boat. I don't want to sing that soca boat. I don't want to sing that soca boat. I don't want to sing that soca boat.
Yeah, so the mighty shadow in between there. I just thought I should probably play them back to back there for you too.
Yeah. Zeno, I hear a little bit of wanting to sink the soca boat, but nevertheless jumping on the soca boat, a kind of duplex personalities here, fighting against the soca, but nevertheless getting involved in it.
Well, I think in this case, Shadow in Stop the Soca Boat was really against the same thing Shorty was doing, but slightly different. That the degeneration of the music into wave and flag and flag.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he was talking about. I don't want to be on that.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, in that Soca Boat, there are two things I want to talk about there. The musical feels between the lines. I don't think that's the first time. I think I heard it by Rose first in 77, I think. But that musical feels between the line, It's still a line and it's a piece of music. That was something unheard of in Calypso in the early days. I mean, Gina and Dinah, Rosie, Tyrant, Claire, Martina. You would never have heard Gina and Dinah. And that is what Shadow does there. The other interesting thing he does is that through the entire calypso of that soca boat, he plays this bass line. It doesn't stop anytime. It goes right to the verse, right to the chorus, band chorus. It's always there. And I felt that whoever was arranging it with him, that was the message he was sending. That bass is mine. That Tobago kind of input in the soca. And so I had never heard a calypso like that where that guitar that riff plays every second of the entire calypso. So Shadow was, criticizing the people with the wave and wave and wave, but also understanding that he didn't get enough credit for what his input in the soca.
What I hear him also saying, Zeno, in that criticism is that the format, the form of the song seemed to, in his mind, to be generating a lot of nonsense instead of some lyrical content, quality lyrical content. That's one of the readings that I get from what he was saying in that song.
Yeah, that is in the Stop the Soca vote. You see, a lot of people felt, but I totally agree that Eric St. Bernard almost coined the phrase.
Sorry, Zeno. Zeno, you need to go back a little bit again.
Again, sorry.
Right, you're right. Excellent right there.
Yeah, I was saying that Eric St. Bernard has a mantra, and he says, soca is the new calypso. And he feels, and I feel so too, that these soca beats, whether it's the early ones from the 70s or the 80s or the 90s, when we get a Super Blue Rain in the 90s or the Marshall at the end of the century, coming into what is now Bungee's time and so on. I am saying you can make an entire calypso and use the beat. And we have seen it happen. Benjai in 2011 went to the side and Trini. And DNA last year Road March. And what you name it? Olatunji, Engine Room, and the other one. You could use it. I have no doubt. Right? And I think that is what but that was a problem with a lot of Calypsonians. Right? They didn't believe that the beat, I usually would beat in its very layman terms, whether it's beat or melody or whatever it is. Again, a pity Pelham, you hate to correct me. But that can't take serious, or to quote Sprangalang, serious lyrics, right? Whatever serious lyrics mean. Because, I mean, my contention in Calypso is that Portrait of Trinidad or Progress is not a better Calypso or a worse Calypso than Get Something on the Wave. Because a Calypso is a Calypso, and it has its reason for survival, timely, timeless. But I think the great criticism has always been that Calypso must be storytelling and soca must be for waving and party. But we have seen so much of these waving songs, and I'm going back to Bungie Garling. For the last 5 years, Bungie has put on some lyrics in those soca songs that are among the best we have ever heard in terms of the traditional poetry. I think the closest we get to a kind of rather like traditional poetic kind of thing in them things Bungie singing now. And most of them are not about waving in a band.
Chalo, we could line up some more soca. We haven't heard from we haven't heard from Super just yet, but Super certainly captured a whole spirit and ran away with it for a number of years with his own version of the soca. Yes, Zeno, while Chalo finds some Super there.
Super, yeah. Well, you know, Super was scared to go on stage at the beginning. Eugene Basu was my drama group guitarist for about 20 years. He had met Super in 1979 in Point, and Super was telling him while he's drinking a little sweet drink that, boy, I have these songs here, but I don't know what to do. I'm afraid to go there. And Basu will let me hear it, and he said, when he heard it, he said, but Super, you good? Well, that time you sleep with Blue Boy. I said, there's that phase of Super, that 80s phase, And then there's the 90s phase when he started to get something on the wave and bra bra and
The wave
oh gosh,
songs.
that mass he make in that you know in his Soca Monarch that kind of unfortunately redefined the calypso as if Soca and calypso could never meet anywhere. But Super was just super.
Super was
And
just super.
yeah, I'll confess, I have not watched a Calypso Monarch semi-final for but 40 years. But when Super was singing in the 90s, I would be inside taping, of course. And like when I hear Super come out, I run out in front of the TV to see what he gonna do with these speakers and this crowd that eating out of hands. So Super, yeah, high priest.
So Chalo, let's get into some Super.
Get something and wave. Get something and wave. Get something and wave. Get something and wave.
Say whoa yo, whoa yo yo, whoa yo yo, whoa yo yo.
Get something and wave.
Boom bam,
Get something and
boom
wave.
baba boom bam.
Get something and wave.
Everybody,
Get something and wave.
this carnival is bacchanal. Tell them
No cooking. No cooking.
for the mural, ringing a bell.
No cooking. No cooking.
Mr. Police Commissioner, the action start from Panorama. Too long inside, I want to wail in a bar. I ain't kill, I ain't break no law. What you timing me for? Trinidad and Tobago, I'm hearing. Mile, 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 mile. Hey, hey. Huh.
Break away.
Carnival is plenty action. Well,
Break away.
91 is wheels in motion. Hey,
Break away.
time to see some bottom rolling. Well,
Break away.
want to see me culture rising? I wanna scream. Everybody,
Break away.
hey, 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 hey.
Get something and wave. Get something and wave. Get something and wave.
Everybody,
Get something and wave.
Prime Minister Abu Bakr, tell them
No cooking.
we say
No cooking.
Baptist woman get a vision. She said
No cooking.
no curfew. While she was on the morning ground, she saw a monkey and two pigeons. Soon my son, she say, we will rise and reign. If police lock me up in a van, I wind into the station. Both Trinidad and Tobago, I'm hearing. Bile, 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 bile. Hey, 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 hey. Huh.
Break away.
Carnival is plenty action. Hey, oh, break away. 91 is wheels in motion. Hey, break away. Time to see some bottom rolling. Hey, oh, break away. Want to see me culture rising? I wanna scream. Children, 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 today's carnival. Are you ready to go home?
No.
Are you ready to go home?
No.
Are you ready to go home?
No.
Children, time to go home.
No.
What's the time, Mr. Wolf?
Back in that
What
time.
is the time, Mr. Wolf?
Back in that time.
What's the time, Mr. Wolf?
Back in that time.
What is the time, Mr. Wolf? It's bacchanal time. Bacchanal time. Bacchanal, 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 bacchanal time.
The party can't come.
No,
The party can't come.
children, tambule, flambeau, shak, shak, and drum. Hey,
The party can't come.
no,
The party can't come.
tell them, start the mass, the moko zombie go come. Well,
The party can't come.
hey,
The party can't come.
1, 2, 3, start the ceremony. Everybody,
Start to wave. Start to wave. Start to wave. Start to wave.
today's carnival, children.
It's carnival.
Everybody,
Start to wave. Start to wave. Start to wave. Start to wave.
on the count of 4, on the count of 4, on the count of 4. Let me go.
1, 2, 3, 4. Jump up, 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 jump up. Bacchanal, 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 bacchanal. Jump up, jump up, jump up, jump up, jump up, jump up.
Everybody,
Bacchanal, 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 bacchanal.
Sunday,
Bacchanal,
Monday,
bacchanal,
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
All right, so Super Blue there, yeah, back to back for you guys.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. One of the things, Zeno, that I must make note of in terms of Super's uh, Soca Calypsos is that if I take two of them, the Lara Calypso and the football in Italy, he had substance behind the melody and the rhythm and all of that. So it wasn't just wind back and come forward and back and all of that, but there was substance in what he was singing. I think your microphone is off.
Yeah, in fact, get something and wave. It's not about actually waving anything. It's a analysis of the coup. Of the 50, 60 songs I have formed on the coup. This is one that is so musical. The other thing I was super there in those calypsos, not the football one so much, but the others, Lara, Bacchanal, and so on, and this one, is that they're a series of hooks, right? Get something and wave, and then Abu Bakr, no curfew, all through the calypso. These hooks that people would pick up later on other calypsonians to get to the soca thing, but you see, super know very well that everybody wants a chance to put a finger in the air. So the series of hooks right through. Now, I heard that it was Carl and Carol who first put a finger in the air. But not being a party man, I can't totally say that. But by the time I get to 1993, no, when I was 91, get something and wave. We were totally, get something kind of in the air. A lot of Californians didn't like it. Coco raised against it for a while. We heard Shadow talking about it. And I know that, even Valentino, in his quiet way, talk about people getting all the fame and the glory. They were singing about wine and boomsy. A lot of people didn't like that. But super proof there, you could sing the most banal topic or the most serious topic or the most topical topic and use this. The music that we know called soca.
He was, of course, his first big song was seriously controversial in terms of riling up a lot of people who were against dragging the spiritual Baptists into the fray, as it were. And even Dr. Williams got involved when they wanted when there was appeal to him. And I remember his saying is that what was the phrase he used? Let's be reasonable or something like that. A kind of, not wanting to get deeply involved in the controversy, but nevertheless wanting to bring some sobriety, as it were, to the conflict. With Super Blues' big hit, which was probably remains, as perhaps his biggest song in the sense of involving everybody in it. What do you think? That is Soca Baptist.
Yeah, well, Soca Baptist gets a little pressure, as you see, because people always be, up our arms against when you go into their territory, and they do what they think is a kind of religious music done in a secular kind of way. Soca Baptist came, but afterwards there were others. I mean, when people come on the scene, it was big uproar. And when Shorty started to sing, even before Soca Baptist, but he was singing Shanti. And the Mahasabha complained that it would bring the mantra of Shanti into disrepute. And Shorty said, all right, then don't play it. He made a compromise. But so that it always have that little thing there. I mean, when Wada did High Mass, it was the Catholics turn to say, hey, where is that? So we had the Baptists, the Hindus, the Catholics. People always.
And when the objections come, they make the song even more popular.
Yes, it does. But you see, I think sometimes they forget that it's a calypso, and a calypso is music and lyrics that they're talking about things in the society. And they get carried away and think it's some kind of a weapon But that way it is. Whatever the Calypsonian sings, what the country people in the country thinking. Some would say, yeah, boy. Because when we're at high mass, it's songs that kind of call and response thing in high mass is what Godmule had said that might have been instrumental in the development of the Calypso is in terms of that call and response, that calendar kind of call and response that would have felt that kind of influence in it, that old Catholic amen, call and response in that sense. So it will always be like that. People always say, hey, it's a funny business, and don't touch it.
And Zeno, what was ironical about that with the High Mass and the Catholics on Rudder and so on, the present Archbishop is a serious advocate of the same song by Rudder, and he sees it in a completely different light than mocking and being irreligious and all of that.
Well, and it should, because according to one great Calypso monarch, if the priest could play.
Yeah. Who's we? Yeah. Okay, Charlo, what else you have for us? We kind of climbing down to the time now. Some more music inside here for us.
All right, so we talked about the Mighty Sparrow. Don't we play anything from him for the day? So this is Soca Pressure.
They used to say, the old man gone. Blue boy and them boy have me on the run. But they realized they make a big mistake. I was only giving them young fellas a break. But they brag and boast all in America. How to win the crown, they had the formula. They say, buddy, we just can't whine again. Till survival and both of them nearly killed them, then they caught us straight. All who feel the great this year will feel me wait. Soca pressure, will come. Soca pressure, aye. Soca pressure, tell them. Soca pressure. I come on to jams with music in the band. Soca pressure, will go. Soca pressure, aye. Soca pressure, soca pressure. With this latest drive, who survive. Long as I'm alive for the festival day. Music night and day, jamming all the way. Soca pressure for the carnival. Come on. The talk was about who bad and who super. So I jammed them with a gentle reminder in a catchy phrase, melodious ballad with a jumpy beat and tongue was going mad. I show them youth is wasted on the young, so they vex with me because I old and strong. And for sweet tune and tempo, they know I dread. Tell them to get powerful, stupid, and let success go to their head. All who feel the greatest, they go feel me with. Soca pressure, soca pressure, soca pressure. Tell them, soca pressure. I come on to jam sweet music in the band. Soca pressure, soca pressure, soca pressure, soca pressure. With this latest drive, who survive. Long as I'm alive for the festival day. Music night and day, jamming all the way. Soca pressure for the carnival.
All right, the Mighty Sparrow there. Soca Pressure.
Entering the soca sing, as it were, and singing that, you say, get them fellas a little play, but he come into the soca sing in a big way, and he giving them soca pressure. Zeno?
I mean that he could sing anything. Far we take a mediocre calypso and make it into a masterpiece. He's so comfortable in all languages, in all forms. And so once Paro jump in the soca thing, it blows because he know how to survive. Boy, very very good. Soca pressure. I think he might have been addressing Super here after Super success in 80, 81, 83. I think this is like 84, 85 calypso. But he's talking about the box competition in 85 anyway. That's his box. Soca pressure.
Soca pressure for everybody.
Yeah.
Typical Sparrow bravado.
Exactly. You could sing soca, I could sing soca too.
Any more music there, Chalo? Sparrow plus anyone else? Let's give a moment here.
Yeah, well, I wanted to bring in Calypso Rose for you guys. We didn't talk about the ladies, so I give you the opportunity to talk.
It's too hard to mention, but I spend too small for the carnival. I know what will happen. This is 77. It's people like Red. Jumping on the spend, Marine Square, Hot Magic Street Hot, Salad Street Hot, so I can stop. Hey, I'm going down San Fernando. Down they have plenty tempo. And the steel orchestra jamming sweet. I want to join San Fernando. Roll and coffee street, so give me more tempo. Give me more. Masquerada's balling, the people are moving. You got it tempo, they got moving slow. You're jumping from morning, go there until evening. You reach competition, all the judges gone. Savannah jumping, corner jumps, so street jump with brass and stand. Hey, I'm going down San Fernando, down they have plenty tempo. And the steel orchestra jamming sweet. I'm going to join San Fernando, roll and coffee street, so give me more tempo.
Yeah, just gonna let you guys get off without talking about Calypso Rose.
Yeah. Calypso Rosie came in big into it, man.
Yeah, I apologize. We should never forget Calypso Rose.
Yeah, she came in big towards the end of the 70s with a.
Yeah, and I think Rose was brave enough in 1977 to enter a quote-unquote soca into the Calypso competition. I don't know, I think it's to them back. But the fills, he sang a line and then he had the bass fill, sing the next line and the bass fill. I remember the night and I was very worried. I said, wait, this thing ain't gonna work, because we saw accustomed to hearing, the line. Right? The line, and then the music comes in the band chorus. But when we hear that music interlude between the lines in the beginning there, I was saying, wait, boy, but she had a very brave attempt. But by the next year, of course, she went all the way, 1978. And I think was a person who had also said, listen, I had my soca from a long time, So in that battle, a lot of people make their claims. But that's it.
Okay. All right, Charlo. So we go out with some music. We have a couple more minutes, and you are the wheel. So play some soca for our viewers and listeners.
Posa.
A little girl came down from the country, saying how she want to eat some party, but she don't know how to move around with them boys and them in town. So she find no other body to come and ask but me. So I tell she, find a party, smoke a watty. When you finish, drink a Guinness. Find a corner, snatch up fella, love your head bad, squeeze him man hard. When the lights dim, you put a cool She say how she parents in the country don't allow she to go to no party. So this little break you see, yes, I come out to be fair. A party could be OC, who's a happy dinner. So I tell she, find a party, smoke a watty. When you finish, drink a Guinness. Find a corner, start a fella, down your head back, squeeze him hard. When the lights dim, you put a groove.
Okay, guys, yeah.
Yeah, you know, Zeno, one of the things that I just reflected on as we playing the music that we have a whole geography of Trinidad where some of these singers have come from. Point Forte for Super Blue. What's his name is from Grande. You have Shadow from Tobago. Calypso Rose from Tobago. So there are a lot of geographic areas covered.
Yeah. What was played on San Fernando. Now you see the irony of Posa singing this good match of 1979 and national final and so on. But 25, 30 years after, he would be vexed with Bungie Garling and say, that is not so-called singing, you know. Find a name for that. and both people. Anyway, that is what happens. You know, I tell students in school while I'm lecturing that their children or their grandchildren will tell them one day, Granny, you used to listen to Bungie and Fayan, that's stupidness. The music will change again.
Yes,
and unless you're aware to accept it as part of the undying journey of Calypso.
Evolution of the Calypso from one to the
Calypso,
other.
Calypso, Russo,
everything.
Soca.
So, folks, we got to leave it here for today. But next week already, we are talking about bringing the chutney soca into the picture, and we also have part of the program we're going to devote to Kinte, who obviously has played.
I'll talk to him. See if you have available. Definitely the Indo, effect on the Calypso and input and contribution to the music and to the soca and to the up tempo and into the chutney part of it.
Right.
And we shouldn't talk too hard because Crazy will be somewhere listening and he will say, what about the Parang soca?
Right. So all of that, we have plenty thing to cover. All
Yeah.
right. So, Chalo, we're going out with some music there just to indicate that we are not going to be live tomorrow. We have some business to take care of, but we're going to come back for next week, Monday, for more of the soca, chutney soca, all kind of soca, the Parang soca. Yes, as a good memory of where Crazy is going to come into the picture with his own brand of the soca. Okay, Chalo, over to you.
Thank you very much.
All right.
So, people, this has been the Drive Time Exchange on the New Era TT Radio. We thank you very much for being here with us today, okay?
This is a simple calypso. The words don't rhyme, but sing it so. All you really have to know, sing the chorus as you go. When you really get the beat, good Lord, just stand up on your feet. And you must get the swing, just as long as you sing. La la, la 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 la, la 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 la, and you, la 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 la. Jump up, jump up, when you jump up, it's not that way not to jump up. No, you could put your two hands at kimbo, rock your body to and fro, bring your hand up to your chest,
Now you waistline to the rest. When you really get this song, man, you whine until you touch the ground. Then you jump and you spin. But remember to sing.